What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be just basically taking apart my bike, my BMX bike. So the tools that we'll need for today is a ratchet and a 17 mil socket, a larger Allen key, and a slightly smaller Allen key, and obviously a flathead screwdriver. So what you want to do is grab your flathead screwdriver. There's a little master clip on your chain. Push it out. Make sure not to lose this. This is very, very, very important. Then you push out. Pull out the other part of the master link. Actually, technically you should undo the tire first to make chain not tight. If I'm going the right way. I was going the right way. Excuse me. Okay. So now that we got that loose, the chain's all loose and whatnot. So take your. You can actually just take your fingers. Don't lose this as well. And then you just push it out, and your chain will come off. Now, always remember that this little thing, if I can get it out of the freaking socket here, this little thing is the main important thing of your BMX bike, other than the back wheels, obviously. So don't lose those. We can actually just set this off to the side for now. Now that you have the back tire, you've already loosened the back tire. You can take it off and set this aside. Today, what I'm doing is I have to clean and replace my crank bearings. So you take your larger Allen key and you place it in there, you turn it. Remember not to lose this, because this is also important. And then if you have a hammer available, which I currently do not, all you do is smack it off. This will normally come flying off. Don't lose it. It's a spacer for your crank axle. Take this out. And that's your crank off. Now, considering I don't have a hammer or a standard screwdriver, I will have to do this another day, so I'll just explain how to do it. So, in here is a little tiny tube, and you have to move that little tiny tube to the place to where you can get at the other side, the other bearing over here. Well, you put your standard screwdriver on the other side, and you hammer it out. Then it'll come out, and then you can further go with taking out this one. Then you take your new bearings, put it on there. Make sure you don't forget the circular spacer inside, or it'll screw everything up. Well, first what you want to do is clean out the inside. And then you are supposed to lube up the inside of the outside of the bearing so it'll go in nicer. So you do that on both sides, and after you have done that, you go on with putting in your bearings. And then the assembly process. The assembly process is literally the exact opposite of the disassembly process. Except you're going to want to put your flathead screwdriver or whatever into the socket in here, because the spacer inside will move around. So you just push it back and you push it in. And then normally this doesn't happen because I usually take off the other side, but this will turn, your gear will turn around. It'll just spin freely. So when you're doing this, you have to make sure that your pedals are lined up. So when it goes like this, it won't favor one side. I actually did something wrong. There. I almost forgot this. Don't forget it. Just slip it on, and then you go on with your tire. Crank.
What the dick? Are you gonna put mine together next?
Maybe.
I actually want to spray paint my rims.
Why?
Pink.
Now you find where you put the Allen key. Take your Allen key.
Most of the time you're a little more organized.
I was organized at the beginning.
At the beginning.
Screw it in.
Here.
I got it. Let go.
I believe you.
Aussie?
Don't do it too tightly. I'll just show you an example. You don't do it so tight. Is because then it won't move like freely.
No.
See that really, Nick?
Bike.
Oh!
Ow.
Is this locked? Are you freaking kidding me? Why do you lock my toolbox? It's in that house.
See, now you'll see how it's freely moving.
Do you remember seeing one of those?
You got to make sure your washer's on the outside. Don't do it up too tightly, because you got to remember you still have to put your chain on.
Never been down here before.
So you take your chain,
The room, and then our crawl
you put it
spaces under
in
there
between
while we play our
the
games.
frame,
That's what you call it. You're playing
and then
games.
you wrap it around your
Yeah.
back sprocket,
Games. Yeah.
and then your front sprocket.
Just rock.
This, your little masterly. Put it back in. You put it back in the other side.
Okay, girls, let's go. Start getting your stuff on. It's 4:15. Unless you don't want to go, Austin.
I
Okay, so I have to do this with one hand right for right now, but you put it back on, and then you take something. I'm gonna put you guys down for a second. Oops. Take your flathead, and you push it back on. Voila, chain's back on. As you're tightening your front wheel, you're going to want to pull it back so that the chain tightens. And voila, you got a brand new bike, pretty much.